Difference between science fiction and fantasy. Differences. Science fiction has its grounds in science and is possible. Fantasy has no grounding in reality and so is not possible. Science fiction is really based on facts. Fantasy is only imaginary and not based on facts. Science fiction is almost related to real things, and based on technology and science. Fantasy involves things that do not exist in real life. Science fiction does not use supernatural forms. Fantasy uses more supernatural forms and magic in its plot or theme. Science fiction can have large imaginary elements. Fantasy has limited capability to have large imaginary elements. Science fiction have stories based on some rational. Fantasy does not contain rationality in stories. Science fiction can be about robots, space, or aliens. Fantasy is only imaginary, without any base on facts. Science fiction displays things that could possibly take place in the real world. Fantasy adds realism to things that are unlikely to happen. Science fiction can be divided into hard science fiction, soft science fiction, social science fiction, cyberpunk, time travel, alternate history, military science fiction, superhuman, apocalyptic and space. Fantasy can be divided into horror fiction, mystery fiction, superhero fiction, fandom, and community. Similarities. Both are interrelated. Both terminologies have been widely discussed. Both can be subdivided into many genres.